Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys today? Good. Um, yes. There's something that I want to share with the people today, all Gentiles and all true Hebrew Israelites, which are the slaves, the whole West Caribbeans, the Black Americans in the United States of America, the Haitian people, Levi, who committed murder and killed the French for their freedom. Thou shalt not kill. Okay? So, yes, our sins shall be forgiven us. The Almighty is very merciful. But do we desire forgiveness within our soul? Truly is the question. Okay? And that's what the tribe of Levi need to think about. Okay? Are you continuously repeating the same sins? Sins of the parents falling upon the children, because we must not forget when Cain killed Abel, what happened to Lamech, his generation, the father of Jabal and Jubal and Tubal Cain, who married the twin sisters Zillah and Ada. Sins of the parents fall upon the children. Cain killed Abel, his brother, yes. And guess what happened? That's why Cain's generation was not spiritual. They were not they didn't have the favor of the Almighty El Shaddai in them, because the sins of the parents had fallen upon the children. Lamech did the same thing that Cain did, and he killed a man. And he testified about how he killed a man. He killed two persons, a young man and an older man. And he said his words were that, well, if Cain shall be revenged in sevenfold, he shall be revenged. He shall be revenged 7 times sevenfold. Because when Cain had killed Abel, when the Almighty had cursed Cain, and he put the sign of the curse on his forehead, Cain said, he is a dead man, a fugitive and a vagabond, right? A vagabond. And the Almighty El Shaddai said, if anyone should kill Cain, then he shall be revenged. His blood shall be avenged sevenfold. So basically, when Lamech killed the young man and the man, he said his blood, if his blood will be avenged 7 times sevenfold. So basically, Lamech wanted repentance. That's Lamech's way of trying to repent of his sins. But it wasn't happening. The same thing keep happening. Sins of the parents falling upon the children. And that's why the Almighty had to choose Noah from out of Seth's generation, because Cain's generation was too corrupt. Okay, so the message what I came to share with you people today, I'm not gonna do this video is not gonna be long. There's something that's surfing around the web about Donald Trump. He called, I don't want to say the SHIT word, but he called countries like Haiti and Africa a bottom hole. He called the countries where the stool come out hole. He's trying to say that the countries are a slump. Okay? The reason why he said that is because, which I'm going to get into you, and this goes into Bible prophecy that I want to share with you people. Okay? He had targeted the black people. Yes, when he said that, right? The children of Levi are the Haitian people today. And the Africans, a lot of the people in Africa of the Holy Land. Okay, we must not forget what our people in Africa had done. Now, I'm not saying all of them are our people, but you know, some of our people in Africa, what they had done for us. Because you got the Egyptians living with the Africans, okay? And the Egyptians were black of the Bible. The Egyptians of the Bible time, they were black, okay? Because artifacts have been found that proves that the Egyptian people were very, very black, okay? They were blacker than my complexion, okay? And we must not forget that Sarah was fair-skinned and Rebecca was fair-skinned. That's why Abraham was having problems whenever he took her with the Egyptians, because she was fair-skinned. That's and with Abimelech, the king of Gerar, the Philistines, when their countries had been affected by famine, because Rebecca was fair-skinned. Isaac went through the same thing that his dad went through. Whom is Abraham? With Sarah. What Abraham went through with Sarah, because Sarah was fair-skinned and Rebecca was fair-skinned. The Bible said this, okay? Because they seen that she was fair-skinned, they wanted to take her into possession. All right. The reason why Donald Trump had said what he had said is because this has something to do with Bible prophecy, okay? You see, the Gentiles of this Antichrist system of things, now we must not forget who make this Antichrist system of things. Babylon has fallen for the sixth seal already, and Donald Trump knows this, okay? You see, these people, when we had fled from out of Rome, when we had left Israel, Jerusalem, okay, we must not forget that we, the true children of Israel, was going through persecution, all right? We were still going through persecution because they didn't want this Bible prophecy to come out. Our Haitian people, okay, and who was working with the Romans around that time, because our Haitian people, yes, I would like to say this, and if you do your research, you would know that our own Haitian people played the role of magicians for the Romans, for the fourth seal at the time of the kingdom of Rome, when the empire of Rome was up, just like how Pharaoh had his magicians, okay? We have a lot of pastors that are taking on the same role under this Antichrist system of things, under the kingdoms that the Gentiles had given us, even though after they had taken us from the Holy Land, I mean from Africa, and scared us and divided us and given us islands and made us a part of their continents, okay, and give us rulerships under them. A lot of our pastors, a lot of our people are taking on the same role as the Pharisees did, whom is the ancestors of our Haitian people, okay, because they know we was given this law. Why do you think the voodoo is a religion for our Haitian people? Because everything that they do, they doing when they practicing voodoo, it goes right back into this Bible, okay? They using the things that is in this Bible to turn it into a different effect, okay? They are spiritually fighting our God. When you hear people practicing wickedness, sorcery, voodoo, and obia, that's that spiritual war that the Bible is speaking about under Satan. Yes, we hear about it all the time. Or this person practicing wickedness, this person practicing sorcery. That is the spiritual war that this Bible is speaking about in the book of Revelations. Okay? This don't have nothing to do with them Gentiles. Paul came for the Gentile. Paul was a Gentile. That's why Peter the Almighty El Shaddai didn't choose Peter to go and preach to the Gentile, because Paul's complexion could have dwelt with the Gentiles. He could have gained their understanding. Paul went through it with his own. They didn't want to see the kingdom come. Just like they still don't want to see it come today. Paul was going through the same thing that we, the true children of Israel, was going through with our own. They didn't want to see it. They wanted to stop prophecy. They didn't want to see it. That's why they persecute their own. Our own persecuting our own. The Gentiles persecuted Paul because he wanted to see good for us black people, the Jews. Why you think? Why you think the Nazis don't like the Jews? Black people, the KKK, they killing black people. They killing Christians. In Houston, when the Almighty El Shaddai sent judgment in Houston, what do you think happened? There was a lot of racism going on in there. White people, Europeans don't like the blacks, the black African descent. The racism. Nazis and Jews. Jews and Nazis. Racism. Why you think they hate us? Why you think are they fighting like that? Because they know we are the true children of Israel. They killed Paul for that. I mean, they persecuted Paul because Paul wasn't racist. He wasn't a racist Gentile. You listen to no one tell y'all say Paul was black. Okay, because he was one of them. But the Almighty El Shaddai used him. The Son, King Jesus. He used him. Because he was persecuting. He was a Roman soldier. And he was persecuting the Almighty El Shaddai's people, okay? And if you keep up with my videos, you would understand what I'm trying to tell you guys. Because I came to make a point. Alright? The Haitian people are the children of Levi. They are the ancestors. And how do I know this? Because I'm going to go into the book of Matthew 23, okay? And verse 31. Here it says, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. From my visions, I was encountering a lot of visions. The Almighty El Shaddai was showing me things. To the point where the things that the Almighty El Shaddai have been showing me, I telling you, I have Haitian in my blood. My mommy is Haitian and her whole ancestor generation is Haitian. My daddy's mom is Haitian and her whole ancestors is Haitian. My dad's dad is of the tribe of Benjamin, Bahamian. And that goes down his whole generation, his whole line. But my dad was living with his stepdad. And his stepdad is from Haiti, Haitian. That whole generation down that line is Haitian. So, growing up around these people, I know these people's ways. I know my people's ways, okay? And that's how I know. That's also clarification of how the Almighty El Shaddai showed me that this West Indies is the tribe of Benjamin through my visions, okay? And a lot of people notice. A lot of the pastors and a lot of people in the churches notice. See, the reason why I keep talking about the people in the church is because they notice. Okay, this Bible is common sense. They know. They know about the Cinderella story that this Bible preaches about. Okay? Everything is like, the way I see it, everyone practicing sorcery. Sorcery is in the cartoons that we watching. You know, sorcery is in the movies we watching because Hollywood is using all kind of ideas from this Bible and they telling our story. They telling the children of Israel's story. They telling the story, okay? Through the Bible interpretation, you would understand this. All right? They using our story. And our ancestors saw this, what I was trying to tell y'all. Our ancestors, before we had crossed the border of the Mediterranean Sea to enter into Africa, at the time of The great persecution. I'm talking about the great persecution occurred in the year 313, right? Under Dulcitane. That was the great persecution that our ancestors had faced under the Romans. See, they wanted to stop prophecy. That's why they was persecuting us. Is this a spiritual war about prophecy being stopped? Them Romans was practicing sorcery. Them Romans, they was practicing spiritual wickedness. They did believe. They wanted King Jesus dead. Why did they want him dead? Because they know that they had to keep the angels down, the firstborns down, to bring them down in order for their kingdom to stand. They was trying to keep King Jesus down because that was the era. They knew when they saw the star in the sky. They knew that it was the era for him to come, a great king. So, what Satan had showed the children, Adam and Eve. You see, when Satan say, "Ye shall not surely die; ye shall become ye eyes shall be open and become as gods," he wasn't promising that for Eve. He was trying to say that if you make me your God, I will be able to provide for you. But he had to show Eve he had to show them something what they had to do. When Cain killed Abel, the good son died. All right? The holy son, the favored son, the one who favored God died. And Cain, generation lived on and inherited the earth, but not for long, because there is a God. You understand? There is a God, and he has the say. He has the almighty say. Okay? He has all say over all say when he watches these things. Okay? A lot of people sell their soul, but there's a time frame on it. You will not be able to live it out. There's a time frame for a person who sell their soul for riches. So Eve's soul, our soul, the generation, her generation, the children, soul. And Satan basically is trying to say, in order for you all to have, in order for us to be successful, in order for him to help or to be their God, this is what he have to do. Kill the prophets. Make us suffer. Make God people suffer. Who you see was suffering? The firstborns. The angels that were being sent from the kingdom of heaven were suffering. Because the Almighty El Shaddai, remember what King Jesus was saying? He said, the householder, he was sending his servants onto the men that he rented his vineyard too. And when he sent his servants to go and collect for the vineyard, what happened? These were angels that he was sending, just like he sent Moses. Just like he sent John. What they did, they killed John. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. What happened? When they start to speak against this antichrist system of things, what you see happen? They kill him. Right? Okay, they kill him. When King Jesus spoke against the Pharisees, what you see happen? They kill him. When the prophets were speaking, testifying, what you see happen? They kill him. Our own kill King Jesus. The Haitian people. The generation of the Haitian people, our ancestors. I know what my ancestors, based on the visions that the Almighty El Shaddai have been showing me, I know. I could say. And where it leads to say that our ancestors are the children of Israel, because I testifying that they are the ones who were the magicians. They played the role of the magicians under Rome. Nobody like witchcraft like the white people, the Gentiles. They like it. You see, they talk about it when they put on black and they got and all of that. They like witchcraft. You go on YouTube and you'll see they buying it. They go into Haiti to buy it. You see these people practicing ruse and putting sorcery and magic. That's that spiritual war. But they using us to do it for them. They were using our ancestors to do it for them. You know why? Because we close to God. Satan, the devil, was trying to say, how when Cain killed Abel, Satan, that was a message. Eve sold her soul. This is what you have to do in order for me. That's what Satan was trying to say. This is what you have to do in order for him to provide for them. They have to kill the prophets. They have to keep us blind. A lot of the pastors in the church keeping us blind, and because they're keeping us blind and they ain't telling us the truth, that we are the true children of Israel and what this Bible really teaches, they killing us. Why you think King Jesus had to come? Because they was killing us. Because we needed to know the truth about what this Bible truly teaches. They was killing us. Because we didn't know the truth. So we was living our life in sin under the Roman Empire. They was killing us. By the way, we was living our life without God. We was dying without God because we are chosen people and we need him. And that is the reason why a lot of the pastors in the church ain't truly telling us, because they know what this Bible teaches. But they using it. A lot of them practicing spiritual wickedness. All the tribe of Israel. Why you think Gad, the Northern Americans, they can't hold a country for their own? They under the Americans because they practice so much wickedness. They trying to control the favor of the Almighty El Shaddai's wife, the moon, Mother Nature. They trying to get her favor. But let me tell you something. A wife is supposed to hearken on to the voice of her husband. Okay, so how you could go to the wife before you go to the husband? Yeah, I know the Almighty say, no man coming to the Father without coming to the Son, but you can't go to the wife before you go to the husband. King Jesus is the Almighty Emmanuel El Shaddai is in control. Many may know him as King Jesus. The Romans give him that name. That ain't his name. Emmanuel El Shaddai, the son of the Almighty El Shaddai, God Almighty. Okay? So, the priests, our ancestors, our Haitian people, Levi, the Pharisees, Caiaphas, he was the chief priest. They wasn't faithful. This Bible telling us about us. Our people wasn't faithful. All right? Our people was never faithful. So, a lot of the pastors are taking on this same role by keeping us blind, the role of the Pharisees. But he had said to the Pharisees, behold, your house have been left unto you desolate. He was talking about Jerusalem, the synagogues. They wasn't going to be in the synagogue no more. So, because they wasn't going to be in the synagogue no more, they were priests, right? What are they today? Voodoo priests. Haitian voodoo priests. That's what they are today. Because they wasn't going to be in the synagogues no more. Their house have been left unto them desolate. Sins of the parents fall upon the children. The reason why they practicing voodoo, you could see there's true colors showing. That's what they was about. They was practicing magic. Turning the words of this Bible around. They know the word. Why you think when King Jesus was on the cross, they said, let us see if your God will save you now. Since you believe in him, when he was on the cross, bleeding, blood dripping down from his body. But guess what? Let us see if your God will save you now, right? These people was not faithful. They was evil. Good and evil. That's what Satan promised them. That they would be good and evil. A lot of them hide behind good and evil. That's how they practice in spiritual wickedness. Because they balance it. You think they good. But they're using that good. So that they could, God, the Almighty El Shaddai, they're using God. Why you think King Jesus say, all that has ever came around me are robbers and thieves? Because they know he have a good heart. They know he had a cry of the just and the unjust. So there's a moment they're going to try to be just. And there's a moment that they're going to try to be unjust. They're trying to weight the balance, that spiritual wickedness. They playing games with his heart. Hear me when I tell you all this. That is how they practice in spiritual wickedness. And it's even happening even deeper because some of them sell their souls. They sell their soul, and I can tell you how. All right? This thing's so deep. I'm trying to tell you as much as I can. So, if you listen to my videos, there's a lot that I have to say, what I'm trying to say. A lot of these people know. Because it's like, the way I see it, all of the tribes are practicing wickedness. Okay? A lot of them practicing wickedness. That's what, but the Almighty El Shaddai, when he sent his judgment, like meteor from the heavens, down here on earth, everybody flee to the mountain. The rich man flee to the mountain because he have a lot to lose, right? I talking about the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the tsunami. That's judgment. When the Almighty El Shaddai judges his people, he judged them. He judged them. When he see the leaders are indulgent in spiritual wickedness, that's judgment. Who you think will pay? Who you think will pay for it? The children, the nation of people. Sins of the parents fall upon the children, the leaders. If you look to your leaders and you vote for this leader, you can be affected for what they doing behind closed doors. All right? You can be affected for what they doing behind closed doors. So, what Donald Trump said, we don't need people coming from SHIT whole countries like Haiti and Africa. They practicing a lot of wickedness in Africa. They practicing a lot of wickedness in Haiti, yes. But at the end of the day, they practicing wickedness in America because the reason why Donald Trump's come out and he said that, because he know that Mother Nature ain't in the Pope's favor anymore. The same reason why our people was fleeing from the Mediterranean Sea and crossing the border after Paul had brought the gospel to the Romans. That spread because in the year 560 AD, the Gentile priests had already established themselves. So when our people saw that how they was making a white Jesus, they trying to say they corrupted the religion from then. That's what Paul was prophesying about in the book of Romans, chapter 1 and 32, 18 to 30 to 38. They corrupt our religion, and when our people saw this, our ancestors saw this, we crossed the border and we went into Africa because we know that ain't our God. That ain't what we was taught. We saw that they give us a scarecrow. They give us a scarecrow version of our culture. They begin to control it after Paul had spread it out to them. And they had legalized Constantine. He had legalized the religion of us Jews. See, it didn't come through us black people. It came through Paul. Paul went through persecution, yes. But like I said, the Romans, they were practicing sorcery. That's why our ancestors, the priests, our Haitian people, the Levites, the Pharisees, their generation was so good with the Romans. Who you think was given the order for the prophets to get killed? The Pharisees. How could a black man have so much power under a white man? To be able to say, go and kill this one. Paul was even taking orders from them. When the angel had saw that, when the soldiers saw that the King Jesus, the tomb, the miracle would happen to the tomb, how it opened and he saw the bright light. What you think happened? They went to the Pharisees, our black people, our Haitian people. Who played? The Pharisees. Who played the role like of magicians? The magicians under Pharaoh. You know why? Because our people were counselor. The magicians under Pharaoh were counselor. Or were counsel. They were taking counsel from us. They were practicing spiritual wickedness to keep the kingdom of Rome up. But King Jesus conquered. And that is the battle that a lot of us firstborns and prophets are facing today. They are blinding us. They didn't want us to know. They didn't want this gospel to spread. And a lot of them was talking about, a lot of them, like in the book, see, they corrupt. They even change some kind of stuff because it would lead back. It would lead back to the truth. Who is, that the Romans were, the Pharisees played the role of magicians under under Rome. Because it was not the body. In the book of Jude, chapter 1, verses 9, it says, in the beginning, when Michael the archangel was contending with Satan the devil about the body of Moses, it wasn't the body of Moses. It was the body of King Jesus, the gospel. Moses did not have a great effect upon us, because see, it would lead back to the fact that the Romans were practicing spiritual wickedness. They were trying to keep their kingdom up under Satan. Okay? And I wrote a book about that. We need to keep focus on what's going on, okay? Like I said, I'm making videos bit by bit to explain every bit of this, and I wrote a book. Yes, Donald Trump knows that Mother Nature is not in his favor, not in America's favor anymore. Okay? So guess what happened? I spoke about that. Remember, when 9/11 had happened, that was the prophecy of the fifth seal. When 9/11 had happened, that was the beginning to bring down, that wasn't to bring down America, you know. That was to bring down the United Kingdom. These are the kingdoms. After Rome, the fifth kingdom, when Rome had fallen, the European nation, the generation of the Vikings, the barbarians, the old Norses, that's the Gentiles, even the Roman priests, they call them their relatives. Okay? They are relatives, they are Gentiles, okay? I wrote a book about it, the fifth seal, okay? So I'm going to read this to you, okay? When 9/11 had occurred in September 11, 2001, that was not only a great tragedy, but it had affected the whole economy all over the world, because the stock market was up and businesses was making money, and especially tourism worldwide. Traveling and marketing has been affected ever since the collapse. The economy of this last kingdom of the fifth seal became affected as well when 9/11 had occurred. Okay? It affected businesses under the EU. All right? To the point where Brexit is about to take place. Now, you know, when Brexit takes place, right? What happens when Brexit takes place? This is the EU dollar, the EU dollar. This is their empire. The old Norses, okay? The generation of the Vikings. It's their empire. The EU, the euro dollar. The euro dollar is what? Valuable everywhere. Under them, right? Under France, the Canada, the Canadian, England, Britain, Germany. Okay, the EU dollar, the euro dollar is has been affected ever since 9/11. Tourism, okay? These are where all the tourists are. This is where all the tourists are, everybody, okay? The EU dollar has been affected, okay? So, Brexit. Here's what it says about Brexit. I wrote this, okay? And I want you guys to continue hearing what it says. Brexit is a commonly used term for the withdrawal from the European Union of the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is the Gentiles, the generation of the Vikings, the old Norses, all of them together, okay? All of them together, those who was warring, trying to conquer the lands. Christopher Columbus, we learn about him in school like he's the good guy. They teach us about him, us, true children of Israel, where it took us from our land, Africa. We were victims by Christopher Columbus, but we learn about him in order for us to get to pass history. We learn about Christopher Columbus and slaves. But this thing is serious because this goes into Bible history, right? So in order for us to be successful, we gotta, you understand? We forget about the importance, where we truly come from, into what, and we only get half of the story. But this thing is deeper than what we learn in order to achieve a diploma in history. Okay? The withdrawal of the UK, those Gentiles. Here's why Donald Trump spoke in this, or called Haiti and Africa SHIT hole countries. The Cameroon government had held a referendum in 2016. A majority voted to leave the European Union. So you know what that means? If the majority of the white people, the Vikings, the generation of the Old North, that's where all the white people are, right? The EU, the Euro, the Europeans, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, if they leave the EU, right, the European Union, what happens? The euro dollar falls. Hello, ding, 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 ding. Euro dollar falls. And this was the beginning of what had happened. Tourism and marketing. This where the Europeans were. In the United Kingdom. So that means that after 9/11 had occurred, it had affected tourism and marketing in Europe. The euro dollar, it had affected the euro dollar, not just Europe, the euro dollar, the whole continent. Tourism and marketing, it ain't holding. Not everybody wanted, because of tourism and marketing, a lot of people became afraid to travel because of terrorists. So a lot of them decided to just stay home and don't travel like that no more because of terrorists. That was something big, you know. That was a big tragedy. A lot of people ain't traveling. They choose not to travel or go this way or that way no more because of to travel, to go to travel and visit those lands, Germany and such, because of tourists, terrorists. So because they choose not to travel and take planes anymore, what happened? The economy became affected. All right? A lot of people lost a lot of money when 9/11 had occurred, okay? This affected the UK. It's affected them. So now the EU, the European Union, the United Kingdom is deciding to leave the European Union. And when they leave the European Union, the euro dollar drops. And the euro dollar is being used amongst the whole UK, the Gentiles. So when that drop, what you think will happen? Somebody dollar got to go up. Who dollar you think it's going to go up? What did Donald Trump say? He said we need to start getting people from the UK. He want other investors to come into the country. He want these investors to come to the United States of America. Do you understand what's happening? This is Bible prophecy. He want those people to come to America and invest, because the UK is leaving the European Union. So the euro dollar got to drop. So he's trying to get the US dollar to stay up. Can you understand why he said that? Okay? Now, it says on the 29th of March 2017, in a letter to the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Theresa May, that was delivered by hand, the UK invoked Article 50 of the Treaty on the European Union, thereby triggering the secession of the UK from the EU. This is happening. And guess what? The UK is set to leave by April 2019. By April 2019, that's next year. They set to leave. So basically, when Donald Trump said that Africa, they don't need people from Africa and Haiti, from those SHIT whole countries to come to America. These people in the UK are set to leave the EU, the European Union. So where you think they're going to go? They're going to invest in the American dollar, the US dollar. Okay? So the US dollar can stay up. That's a sacrifice. The country of Haiti ain't bringing nothing to the America. This is the thing about a dollar. Their dollar value ain't helping, but the people are coming to the country. So he want those investors to come to their country. That's why, and this thing is already starting to happen. That's why they were deporting. He was deporting those illegal immigrants. He don't want those illegal immigrants coming to the country no more. He want to get rid of them so that he could bring those people from the EU, from the UK to the country so that they can invest. He want investors to come into the country to make the country rise, to keep the US dollar up. And normally when Haitian people go to other people's country, what they do, they save their money so that they could take it to their country. They save their money. You don't see their money like that, especially Africans. So basically he's trying to say that the country is not progressing with them. So he wants people to come to the country, these people from the UK, to come to the country so that they could invest in the US to keep the US dollar up. Okay? They're trying to find a way to keep the US dollar up. Okay? And this thing is happening. It's set for 2019 April. All of this is happening in 2018. They preparing themselves for the UK. And a lot of these people are racist, yes. No, I mean to say that. I'm just saying this is a thing about business, okay? This is a thing about business. You understand what I'm trying to say? They can't help the country. Their dollar value, the African dollar value and the Haitian dollar value, when they can't help the US because their dollar value is not the same when it comes to taxing a land or taxing a country. Okay? But the slaves of the West Caribbean who have been given freedom. The West Indies, Benjamin. Here's what the Bible says, what the Almighty El Shaddai says. I'm going to go in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verses 12. It says, and of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. So the Caribbean, right? A lot of these investors, they invested in this country, the British Isles. This belongs to the British Isles. All right? We are under them. Right? We are under them. The country. Right? So the investors come to the country. The Caribbean is the only, because after 9/11 had struck in 2001, a lot of tourists don't want to go traveling way to Germany, way to Europe, from this way to that way, taking planes. That put fear in them. Okay? But that was prophecy because what did the prophet John say when he saw it? He said he saw smoke coming from a great furnace. That was the World Trade Center, what he saw for the fifth seal. And the fifth seal, the kingdom under the fifth seal is the European, Europe. The kingdom under the fifth seal is Europe. So Europe has fallen under the fifth seal. Now we on the sixth seal. The sixth seal. The kingdom under the sixth seal is who? United States of America. But like I said, Donald Trump knows that Mother Nature is no longer in the Pope's favor, where they had corrupted our religion. What they was doing. So now he trying to make his, they keeping up with Bible prophecy. It's just our black people, the people in the church. Shame on you. You keeping us blind. Y'all trying to keep our people blind. The true children of Israel. Down, blind from knowing the truth about what this Bible truly teaches. Causing them to sin. You know what the pot is? The pot is this antichrist system of things. This a maze. We trying to, they trying to keep the firstborn blind, so try to keep us from prophecy. And a lot of the people in the church playing the role of the Pharisees, keeping the firstborns blind, giving us a corrupt doctrine and not telling us the truth about who the true children of Israel is. And the Bible prophecy. You got them living out our prophecy in the movies we watch, in the cartoons, because they're using this Bible for inspiration to make movie. They telling our stories. And then when you read this Bible a lot, then you look and you see, hey, this what this Bible, this movie relate to what I read, something I read before. Deja vu. They giving us deja vu. Because we know we seen this story or we heard that before. It come from the Bible. The story what the Bible teaches, and they creating it in their own way. Imagination and a mind of inventatives. An inventive mind. Okay? So, that is why Donald Trump said what he said. Okay? That is why he said what he said. Because the United States of America has fallen, yes. So he is trying to join ties with the Gentiles. Okay? And he's trying to cut those people out because they ain't helping the country. Babylon has fallen. And he's trying to keep it to rise. To get it to rise. He know it's fallen. They know. They keeping up with Bible prophecy. They could tell the time. Alright? They could tell the time. Like I said, the whole West Caribbean, the Almighty El Shaddai have us in his favor. That's what the Bible says, right? And 12, Deuteronomy 33 and 12. This where the tourists they prefer to risk coming to the Caribbean than to go to the places of the EU, those countries, the EU, the Europe. They prefer to go instead of traveling, because those people who died when terrorists attack, where you think they're going? They got to take a long trip. Some of them got to take 3 flights. A lot of these people afraid of terrorists. So a lot of people, if they say they want to travel, they prefer to come to the Caribbean and travel. Okay? And a lot of these investors, like Donald Trump, they invested in the Caribbean. So because they invested in the Caribbean, here what I try to tell you. And of Benjamin, he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And he shall dwell between his shoulders. The West Indies, the slaves of the West Indies, the Almighty El Shaddai, because Benjamin ended up in the West Indies. The tribe of Benjamin ended up in the West Indies. It's supposed to happen. When you see things happening the way they happen, it's supposed to happen like that. That's prophecy. The Almighty El Shaddai see it. Okay? So the West Indies, Jamaica, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Turks and Caicos, all of these islands, the people, the children of Benjamin is blessed, are very blessed. Okay? So stay blessed. And don't forget God. A lot of these prophets and pastors need to come out and start telling their children. Because the Almighty El Shaddai have 12,000 out of the 144,000 called from Benjamin. And this, under this 6th seal, he choosing these people. He choosing y'all. Okay? That's your sons. These these are men. Because a woman must hearken to the voice of her husband. These are men, you're young men. great prophets and leaders. You understand? Seal your children. A lot of these pastors need to start telling the truth about what this Bible truly teaches, so that the children, the 12,000 that the Almighty have called for Benjamin, may stand strong. You understand? I see what's going on. I've been a victim by some of these pastors in the church. I know what this Bible interprets. Where I get this wisdom from, this knowledge, this information, the Almighty Shaddai showed this to me. And I do my research. And I read my Bible. That's how I was able to tell us that's where the wisdom come from. So the people in the church didn't give this to me. I had to learn from my sins. If a lot of us know that who we truly are, the true children of Israel that this Bible speak of, we wouldn't feel like, oh, well, we come from nothing and we ain't gonna never be nothing more. The Almighty Shaddai have a calling on our life. The Gentiles, they own everything, all the landmarks. Right? They own all the landmarks. And we pledging our allegiance to their landmarks, because at the end of the day, we have to pay tax, yes. We have to pay tax. Christopher Columbus, he conquered all of these isles. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they didn't bow down to no statue, no idol. We pledging our allegiance to their flag. We got to pay tax. The Almighty El Shaddai don't like that. He don't like it at all. Okay? But what's even worse is the spiritual wickedness that is happening of the prophets, the pastors. A lot of people practicing spiritual wickedness. So I'm going to tell Benjamin, Levi curse. It's written in the Bible they curse. Why you think the country like that in Haiti? Slumps. It's a slump. Africa, slump. That's where they practicing a lot of wickedness. You see the Jamaicans? Now, they sing a lot of songs of praises unto the Lord, but they ain't as bad as Levi. I ain't saying they all perfect, because some of them has practiced OBL and stuff like that. But a lot of them has practiced OBL. But I trying to tell you, it ain't as bad as God. The Almighty saw God couldn't have a nation. That's why he put them under the Americans. Like I tell you, what I said about the West Indies, we end up where we are because the Almighty El Shaddai favors. He came for the lost and not the found. So when you think you have it worse, someone have it even worse than you. God couldn't lead the people. He couldn't hold a nation because they practicing so much wickedness when they beating their drums. They worshiping Mother Nature. Hey, you could go to the wife before you go to the husband. They practicing wickedness trying to control time. But I tell you one thing. The Almighty El Shaddai is calling those 12,000 out of each tribe. And a lot of these pastors in the church, don't wait until judgment come from the heaven and start praying. Because judgment ain't come yet, and I ain't hear nobody praying like how they was praying when judgment come. Y'all need to start praying now. Like judgment coming, because judgment is coming. You wait until judgment come to pray. Start praying now. And stop lying to the children of Israel. Stop lying to the children. And tell them that they are the true children of Israel. And stop practicing wickedness in this Bible, because that's wickedness. Okay? They watching the people live out their destiny. We come from slavery. And we still under them. So how you think we could feel? We could feel like we worthless and we ain't worth nothing. This is our truth. And the Pharisees was trying to keep this from us. Because as long as we blind, if we blind in spirit, you might as well say we dead. But Satan was promising Adam and Eve was that if they know good and evil, that means if you know good and evil, you gotta do the good. You gotta be better than the truth. You gotta be better than good, the true good. Cain, kill Abel. A lot of these pastors are keeping us blind. And if we blind in spirit, we dead. We live in our life in sin. We don't know our value. Y'all responsible. Y'all responsible. Like I said again, y'all pastors responsible, and that's why I talking to y'all. You know what this Bible teach. Stop lying to the children of Israel. Okay? Stop lying to our brothers. Stop lying to God people. And read this Bible like you know this Bible, okay? Tell us the interpretations. Because judgment is coming, I tell you. You see the time? You see this weather? I tell y'all. Mother Nature ain't in the Pope favor no more. All that corruption. You could tell us, say, Mary Joseph is the queen of the heavens. Like I tell you, Mother Nature ain't in the Pope favor no more. Stop lying to the children of Israel, okay? Because right now, we in a time, great temptation. All these storms and hurricanes and stuff like that, that's judgment. Okay? Receive the blood of the Holy Spirit upon your souls and watch judgment pass you. Don't wait until the storm come. We can see when it pass you, you hear me? When judgment pass you, you know you're doing a good thing. But hear my words. Don't wait until the storm come to start praying. Start praying now. The Almighty El Shaddai have 12,000 called from Benjamin. Okay? He have 12,000 called from Benjamin, and I am Benjamin right now. Stop lying to these children. Because when Levi come to your country or these other people's country, they ain't benefiting. You heard what he say? You heard Donald Trump say? They ain't benefiting his country. They know Mother Nature ain't Pope saving no more. Because the wickedness that they was practicing, because that's all they had to do. They didn't have God favor no more. They can't control it. But they trying to keep the prophets down. Right? This thing so deep. I can tell y'all more. Okay? I can tell y'all a lot more. But I trying to tell y'all. The nations of the West Indies, that's what they invested in right now. You understand? The Almighty, should I say, he have us in his favor. But we must know, when the Almighty have a calling on our lives, sometimes we're going to go through trials and tribulations. How you think those countries turn into slums? Because of the spiritual wickedness they have, what they be practicing, that's judgment for the Levites, our Haitian people. It's written in the Bible and Africa. You think they worried about us? They only worried about their success. Alright? And don't forget the Almighty, said the rich man will flee into the mountain. Okay? They will flee into the mountain. So I trying to tell you, a lot of these pastors need to start praying now and seal these children. Because the Almighty want his 144,000 people, his men, okay, to be better men. It's hard for a woman. How come it's so hard for a woman to find a good man? Huh? You could tell that we don't have much good prophets in this country, in the world, and the children of Israel. When you see your daughters can't find a good man, we have a problem, because those 144,000 are men, leaders. When you see much women start getting married, and their husbands in the church, we know that those 144,000 are found. Those same people who turn into Christ and getting married. Because a good woman, a lot of our young women can't find a good man. So they selling themselves short. Who responsible? The men are responsible. Just like Adam was responsible. Who the Almighty should I call first? When he saw, when he wanted to know what happened. Adam. So a lot of these women who y'all see selling themselves short, the men is responsible. Don't care if Eve go on in the garden and eat from that fruit. Or she gonna do that on her own? The man responsible. Okay? If your wife got a demon, cast it out. Cast it out in the front of everybody. Cast it out in the church. A lot of women, a lot of men need to start. A lot of you men in the West Indies, count how much countries in the West Indies. Levi, he found 100. He found 12,000 out of all. So those 12,000 must be found. They will be found because the Almighty El Shaddai already see it. What I speaking, the Benjamin, okay? All right. I once heard this deacon tell me, say he is God. A deacon say he is God. So you know when he say he is God, you know what I know, right? You know run to my mind. You sell your soul. You reading this Bible and you sell your soul.